Hello YouTube and Diablo Immortal fans. Today we're going to be looking at a PvP build for the Crusader. This is not one that I personally developed. I've seen some online. I like what I saw. I tried a few different builds out, and this one works very nicely. We're going to go ahead and queue up for a battleground while I talk through some of the stuff. First, let's go over to Paragon. We want Warden. I have everything in Warden. Warden's great. Next, while we still have time here, I'm using a 4-piece aimment set, and I'm using a 2-piece Grace of the Vigilant to help with that, and a 2-piece Vithus. You're going to need that Vithus, and you only need a 2-piece of the Grace. You don't necessarily need the 5 pieces of it. I find having the Vithus is much better. Really don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't do what it's supposed to do when you take the armory and tell it to load out a loadout. But anyways, this is what the loadout should look like. That needs to go back in the 4-piece. Sorry, that needs to go back in my stash. Still waiting. So while we're still waiting, here we go. Ready. We're going to go over to skills real quick. Conjuration of Light. Consecration. Shield Glare. Falling Sword. All right. Should have about 20 seconds to talk about some of this stuff. Falling Sword. We're going to have the buff. We're going to have the buff that's going to slow people when it hits them, and it's going to be a huge area of effect. That Falling Sword is going to be nice. We like that. Next, Observer. We're using Punish because we want to block, we want to survive, we want to live. Matter of fact, let's switch over to Defensive Stance. Taking damage. Bright Shield Spath. This right here, we're going to protect ourselves with light, and it's going to blind all enemies when we take damage. We're going to be taking damage all the time with that. So that's going to be popping off, blinding everybody around us because that's going to be damaging everybody around us. Then we're going to have this one. Conjuration Light puts up a shield that absorbs damage. Every time we take damage, once we're going to be doing a lot, we're going to have that cooldown reduced. We're going to be having that Conjuration of Light shield up all the time. And when it's up, we're going to have reduced loss of control duration from our legs, reduced effect by 50% for loss of control. That's huge, a lot less stuns. And finally, Consecration cooldown. Whenever Consecration hits the target, it's going to slow them, and it's going to be up a lot more often because of that cooldown. So, here we go. Let's see how it works in battle. I'm running straight into the enemy. Pop my shield, pop this, pop that, and let's do some damage. The shield's up again, and I got killed. If I'm going up against people higher resonance than me, than myself, then I'm going to get rolled over here. I'm going to get against equal resonance, then I'm definitely going to do great things. Again, we're going to pop the shield, pop the damage, pop the blinds, and start going towards people. Pop the shield as much as possible. Somebody there does crazy damage. That's okay. Everybody that plays Battlegrounds, unless you are the ultimate whale, you know this is how it goes. You get smoked on some of them, and you do all the greatness on other ones. This build is meant to do this. This build is meant to run in and take some hits, and it is meant to do some damage, but it is mostly meant to annoy the other team and keep them off of your teammates. Keep them off of your teammates and allow you and your people to push. Now, as you can see, look at that. Now I'm doing some good. Now I'm doing some good, chasing some people around. Keep that shield up as much as possible. Do a little bit of damage there. Great. Look at the proc. My aim it did some good damage. He's running around taking some damage. Got to keep that shield up because that shield makes my control effects me take loss of control less. Let's go up here where the group is. Gotta stop messing around. We gotta try to win this. Not only am I trying to showcase a PvP build for you guys, but I would like to win. So, gotta keep that shield up. Oh, taking too much damage. Taking too much damage. Can I live? Nope, not gonna live that time. So we're still gonna take a lot of damage. We're gonna take a lot of hits. We just need to get a few people by themselves. Hopefully none of those few people are whales. Let's go in some more. And as you can see, I do get controlled, but I do come out of it relatively quickly because 50% less. Doesn't really matter what my resistance is because 50% is the key number, is the key target right there. That's like having well resistance when you're not a well. It's super awesome. And again, anybody close to me is getting blinded, so I don't have to worry too much about some of the damage are done. Chase him all the way out there, it's fine. Matter of fact, since I'm back here, let's just stay back here and deal with people that have been dying. If they've been dying, shoot, they can die some more. Oh, somebody's getting me. That Mercy guy. Looks like he's one of their well. I see some pretty large wings over there. Now, some of the damage that I'm doing with my falling sword is slowing the target, and my consecration is also slowing the target's movement. So I don't technically need a speed buff. Once I start hitting people, I can catch up with them. These knockbacks and whatnot can control me a little bit, but as you can see, I can get close enough where I can start working on them. Let's get that shield sword. There we go. A little bit more damage on this guy. He's trying to get his buffs going. Doesn't help. This guy's salty. All right, can he do stuff? He's doing a lot of control on me. Oh, he's a necro. Come here, salty. Come here, necro. Looks like up. He stopped. Okay, we can't chase people all day. Hopefully you guys get the picture and you see how effective this is. It's meant to be a close and personal encounter. It's meant for you to get up there and blind people with your buffs and the constant damage you're doing to yourself and the constant shielding that you're doing to yourself. And that shielding is going to keep you alive a good bit. And as you can see, it pops up quite often. Let's get away from that barb. He's going to kill me. I know he is. Let's run and do my debuffs on other people. Looks like we may win this fight. We're pushing pretty well on that bottom side there. I'd like to win. We're going to go back down that way to the right. Get some more damage started and run right into the fray. Oh, get away from that Mercy guy. Get to the back. No, not happening. Definitely want to get to the back. We want to deal with all the range damage back there. Tried many different builds. I tried a normal Conjuration of Light where you take 0 damage, but then you get 100% stunned all the time. And 0 damage for 6 seconds doesn't matter when you can't do anything because you're stunned for 10 seconds. So wasn't liking that build. Tried to build where you're immune to all control effects, but the problem with that is you take all the damage, and there's a lot of damage going out there, so that doesn't work as well either. Tried many other different builds. Oh, can I actually get a bandage off this time? Mobility builds. I could put a horse on this, but chances of me getting knocked off the horse are rather high, so that's not the greatest. Let's go ahead and stand over here and maybe get this guy up where he needs to go. Try to shield charge builds. Shield charge where I get to jump to locations, but again, I have to give up usually my blinding shield. And I love the blinding shield. I love that it's proccing every time I take damage from my own buff, and it's blinding targets around me, causing them total loss of control, but also causing them to miss me. And missing me means I live longer, means I do more damage, means it's so much more fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this showcase of a PvP build, one of the many builds out there. And I'm telling you, when you get up against a group of people close within 10% of your own res, this build is so much fun. You saw certain times I wasn't dying, that I was in there and I was doing tons of damage and tons of good. And that's what this build will do when you're working around people that are close to your res. When you're working around people a little bit higher, I don't think there's any build that's going to matter. They're all going to do the same. You're all just going to get rolled over if you're working against too many higher people. So have fun, enjoy the game, and happy hunting, everybody.